Out here, everybody. So with so much activity encompassing a small business, you wonder, is it all work? Is there anything about being an owner operator that is easy? And I'll tell you, there's some things that are less hard than others, but I think driving is that one that of all the things that an owner operator does, driving is the easy part. Driving 3,000 miles or more per week, that's the easy part. Um, when you take home time, for example, as an independent contractor or owner operator, you got to catch up on all the stuff that you've we're back. We're be in a bad area, but when you take home time, it's well then a company maintenance. Maybe it's putting in a work order. Maybe it's taking the Freightliner, whatever it may be. And then you're also going to catch up on all your paperwork and your taxes and your receipts, your errands. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking, and you got truck payments to make. You don't take too much home time. You know, um, time is money. For an owner operator, time is money. So you have a general idea of what your gross revenue is per day, and let's just say, for argument's sake, it's going to be $700 gross revenue per day. That's what your business generates. Now you don't get to keep that, because all that money you're going to be paying taxes, and you're going to be paying for fuel, you're going to be paying for insurance, and you're going to be paying for all your expenses, healthcare and otherwise. But on average, say for example, your average day is going to generate $700 if you're running, if you're driving. Okay, so you take 3 days off, that costs your business $2,100. So as a small business owner, you're always thinking about costs. You're always thinking about generating revenue, and downtime. Is expensive. If your truck is in a shop for a week, $700 times 7 days, $4,900 gross revenue your business did not make. So minimizing downtime becomes very important for a small business owner. It's something where your overhead is the same. $3,000 a month for a truck payment. Maybe another $1,000 per month for other expenses. So that overhead is consistent month over month over month. But if you run more miles and generate more revenue, then you make more profit. So home time becomes a busy time. It's like, look, I gotta get things squared away and get ready to get back on the road. And I don't have a lot of time to fool around, wasting time needlessly, because it's costing my business several $100s per day not to be running. Get your stuff done on the road. So it can be somewhat exhausting for an owner operator, small business owner, to try to cram in 3 weeks worth of errands and tasks within 2 days to get back on the road. It's like, finally, back on the road. Now I can relax. That's why owner operators say driving is the easy part. Now I can just focus on driving, and I'll drive for 3 hours, stop, take a nap, and drive 3 hours and stop, and have a nice dinner, and then drive for another 3 hours and call it a day. That's the easy part. That's your normal routine. It's you when you're not driving, the work really begins. This is all the things you have to do in order for you to get back to driving. And I always found home time to be exhausting, unless I was taking a whole week off, and then you would have extra time for R&R. But if you're only taking 2 days off, it's it's hustle. You got to hustle. You got to get that truck ready and get it back on the road. And you think about how many days off per year you want to take, and you say, okay, I'll take 30 days off for the year. It sounds nice, but 30 times 7, that's a lot of money. It's 30 times 700. That's a lot of money. So you often think about it as you're driving. What your strategy is going to be for home time. And as soon as that truck is parked at the terminal, now it's time to put your plan into gear. You got to do boom, 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 boom. You got all these things you're going to do. As soon as you get back to the terminal, you're going to knock out 5 or 6 things on that first day. And then the next day you're going to do the whole day. You're just going to do like 10 or 12 things, and then you're back on the road. So home time is exhausting unless you take extra home time. Come back on the road, time to relax. You can, especially if you're in like the mid-south region of the country. It's kind of wide open road, and you can really start enjoying driving. It's something where I think truck drivers have to enjoy driving. You actually have to enjoy driving. I know I've talked to many drivers who hate it. I mean, they've been driving for 10 years or more, and they absolutely hate it. There's times when I'd like to have a break. That's fine and normal. But overall, I enjoy being an owner operator. I enjoy driving, and I enjoy running a small business. And if you enjoy it, it's less cumbersome. It's less laborsome. It's something that you want to do. It's like, yeah, this is strange as it may sound, this is having fun. but but home time it can be the hard part. The home time can be the hardest part. You got laundry to do. You just got so many things to do, and the clock is ticking. It's costing you money to not be driving, and you got bills to pay. And once you get back on the road, you're just relieved that you got everything done you needed to get done, and now you can focus on driving and generating revenue. And driving is the easy part. To me, driving is sometimes the fun part. Now, obviously, big city traffic is not fun, but you try to enjoy the peace and quiet while you have it. So then I think taking a nap is like the highlight of the day. It's like, hell yeah. I get back in my sleeper and turn on the AC, and I'll sleep for an hour, and then get back on the road. Um, so there are easy parts of being an owner operator, and strange as it may sound, driving 3,000 miles per week or more, that's the easy part. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the internet.